Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and thanks for stopping by. Our dedicated team will guide you through with the latest updates and theories at Starbase, Texas. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for future streams.
9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, all around the world. Welcome to Starbase Weekly Update on a Monday for you today, episode number 172. So, exciting day today with the launch going on over there in Starbase, Texas. We're going to be finished before the launch. We should be finished before the SpaceX live stream, so you'll have plenty of time to go over and watch that after the show. So today we've got Alex with us again, almost as a regular. Thank you, Alex, for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Should be fun, and I will stop saying anything to get the show moving.
Okay, we've got BJ with us as well. G'day, BJ. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, glad to be here. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to be on in one of the live streams, and yeah, exciting days today with the launch and great images, great flyover.
And we've got Ryan Webber from NSFO with us today as well. They're kind enough to lend us Ryan and join us on the stream here. G'day, Ryan.
I figured I'd come hang out, talk about Starship when we're in the middle of waiting for a launch, because, why not, right? So here I am.
And for a special treat today, we've got Indy Star over on questions and donations today, and I'll say g'day to Indy and welcome you to talk about the donations today, please.
Thank you for having me. And yes, we are looking to collect money to get Mauricio a brand new laptop, along with the Starlink itself, so that we can live stream from his actual flights and also actually download images and things like that much more easily. And we've already started this whole donation train. We have several donations that have already come in. We're starting with Alex Compton, who donated over $500, $543.21. Cabalon, Anna, Jeff, Richard, Dustin, and Richard donated $500. We also have Gustavo, who donated 15, Grant, who donated 5, Barry donated 12.29, Neil 25.75, Edward 19.10, James $5.31, Ross Whitaker 47.75, Kevin Coe, Hagen $50, Laura $24.25, John $50, and Steph, $25. And that's all the donations we have so far.
Thank you, Indy, and welcome back to the stream. We haven't seen you on the stream for quite some time. It's awesome to have you here today. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
With that, no worries, anytime. With that, let's jump over to Massey's. So it looks like Massey's is quite the hive of activity as per usual. Let's start over at the flame trench end of things. Oh, that's not it. Something I noticed this week, they've put a platform down in here. I guess it's just for the pump. I looked the last couple of weeks and this platform wasn't there. So it's an interesting way to set a pump up down there. So we were thinking that was a ledge there, but that wouldn't be a good idea to have a ledge there, would it, Alex?
No, but it's weird that it's a platform. I'm baffled.
It's almost a baffle. All right.
Don't confuse me so early in the stream. Sorry.
Too late.
It's all good. So right next to the flame trench, of course, we've got this bunker for all the plumbing. That was a very technical little explanation there. And this week we've got all this extra. Sorry, Alex, what was that?
Nothing.
This week we got all this extra plumbing put in over to here, and there's a bit more plumbing up on the actual SQD frame. It looks like it's been put in that way deliberately, so perhaps now there's just some flex hoses to come up the back here to the actual SQD plate itself.
Yeah, it seems like they're all. It seems like they're all just rotated and laying flat. That once they're upright, that should be about the same orientation that we've seen the flanges on, like on the booster cryo stand and things like that.
I think they could still rotate up to vertical, do you?
Well, good. Yeah. Since they're pointing down into the subway grading right now, I don't think they could stay in that horizontal position. They'd have to be vertical on those flange ends.
Good point. Yep. I didn't actually notice that detail through the show and tell.
Yeah. Just slide them in and put the top plate on and fit them afterwards.
It's another good angle of it all. So things are definitely moving ahead quite quickly here at Massey's. Let's switch over to this angle here quickly. We've noticed in here the bits and pieces that were in here, the platform and the old booster quick disconnect stuff from the booster cryo stand have all been finally scrapped. We've got these new platforms here. We couldn't find any place for them. BJ, did you find any place that you think these will be for?
I'm not sure. I mean, that's the steel that we saw the last couple of weeks, and that we kind of had some thoughts that it would be related to dealing with the sealing over there in the fluids bunker there, but I don't know.
Is it the same steel? I'll just bring up the other week's photo.
Yeah.
It should be. I don't think there's no other. If it wasn't the same steel, it would have still been stacked there, I would think.
Yeah, they just welded it together.
So, there's that bit of steel. Oh, okay, there's a bit missing. Is there enough missing to make all those? Maybe they delivered more of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Just looks like maybe they painted them as well. It just doesn't. Anyway, it looks different steel to me. That's all. But looks, yeah, you might be right there actually. Thank you.
So believe BJ and not me, SJ. I see how it is.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
I haven't really looked at the dimensioning on them to see if they still fit now that they're kind of built into some assemblies. I mean, we kind of threw that as a pretty wild speculation when it was just a bunch of pieces sitting there because we couldn't really tell what it was going to turn into.
They don't really seem like the right width for here or the right length sort of for there, or and maybe for in here. I don't know. I'm not convinced yet.
I think there's actually
Anyway,
I think there's actually some more interesting pieces of steel over there by the stand than what those platforms are up at the top of the ramp.
The curved?
Yeah, some curved pieces.
Maybe for some clamps.
It's interesting that they're not all the same size, but it almost feels like it's a new ring to sit on top of the static fire stand to me.
New adapter
Yeah.
ring.
Yeah, because they do have those, that web and that flange reinforcing it.
Cool. So that's about it for that little area in there. It's generally tidying up around the area. Okay, we'll go over to the methane area just before we go there. We can see this cryo line here getting ready to be put in place behind the wall. That'll be probably either the main methane or the main methane return. This week they've been really busy over here. We'll start over this way. It looks like a methane upload point here for fill station to fill up the tanks. There's something over here, I'm not sure. Oh, there's another fill station. I didn't notice that. So 2 fill lines. Okay, we've got a few more pipes here. We can see the tanks have been plumbed into the main delivery line. I can see the main delivery line going to the pumps underneath here. And perhaps a drain line under here. Perhaps, Alex, underneath here there's a cryo return to the tanks.
Yeah, it's probably for detanking. Those are setting this and the lock slightly different than they did at Pad B.
Yeah, and then they got from the pumps to the hippos coming around here. And we've got the nitrogen line, liquid nitrogen line going towards the heat exchangers, sorry. And then we've got from the pumps going into the heat exchangers somehow underneath here. And I guess this is a bit like over at the launch site between the two main LOX tanks, I guess, for detanking will happen under here.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of the two.
And then I guess finally output of methane up to the flame trench coming up here. And once again, a liquid methane line here going to the methane area, to the methane farm. This week also sees a vast, sorry, my words are failing me again today. Heaps of work here on the methane, the waste methane side, where they might reclaim some methane and get it ready to go over to the flame stack. They do recover some liquid methane in here, don't they, Alex?
They can, but this looks like it's just surge.
Cool. And that'll be from the flame trench to there, won't it?
Yeah, that and connected to the main lines. This
Cool.
section, the methane farm, is a bit non-intuitive, and I'll leave it at that until the plumbing's in a little bit further.
And this is still a water tank, I guess.
Correct. It's a Firex tank.
Oh, okay, Firex, cool, yep. And these will be pre-pressed lines, I guess, will they?
They should be, and probably something else, but...
Doug, so just back here quickly, because this will come up again later on. An interesting thing to note here is all the high pressure lines in here is pretty well finished all the way through to out to sort of here for now. So the high pressure crew are sort of finished at Massey's just for now.
It's very much the same as what's on the ship cutie arm.
All the high pressure
And-
stuff in here. And that'll come up later on at the launch site. Had some really good angles this week of all the methane farm, especially that one I just showed before. That one. A bit of more of a front shot. We can see the supply from the tanks being plumbed in here on this pair of tanks. I can just see that one over there for that big main tank. That's good to see a heap of progress in there. Down here, there's not a lot of change here in the trench. We've got all the pipes still awaiting to be hooked up from the rack here. Looks like the main lines. I guess there may even be another stack on top of this perhaps too.
Probably will be.
Yeah, with two main lines that are kind of started over on the other side. Yeah, I don't think there'd be enough room for them all to be up there.
Probably the high pressure on the lower, main supply and return on the upper, basically.
Yeah, because they already have it segregated.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. We've got a main. There's another main cryo line down there ready to be picked up and put on top.
Yeah, that's the fill. That's a liquid. And the other
Cool.
line up there is liquid nitrogen.
Up there, yeah. How we going? We're flying through the time here. Awesome. Oh, wow. Yeah, I thought there'd be not so many on this watching today, but that's fine. We'll archive this stream for later on. So, g'day everybody in the future watching later on. Okay, we'll go to the LOX farm now. So the pump side of things are all hooked up pretty well. We've got the supply to the pumps underneath there and the supply from the pumps, return from the pumps up top, and the purge-chill down line, I guess, through there as well. Let's see how well I set up my photos today. No, not so well after all. Okay, we'll go over here. So the main supply for the LOX is still sitting just here from the tanks, and then from the pump running along here to the hippos, and then to the heat exchanger, sorry Alex, and then underneath behind here there's the switching system again for the detanking, I guess, and then comes out around here to the actual flame trench. Sort of looking simple but complex at the same time. And the chill down line here's been hooked in. The main nitrogen exhaust has been hooked in to the fan box. Okay, nothing new or anything exciting to talk about there, I don't think. What are these plates? Any of you worked that out yet?
They have several stands they started working on, so.
Yeah. Stuff and things.
Nothing to report on the booster quick disconnect. They have, maybe they did this last week, I'm not sure. They have replaced some burnt pipes in here. Didn't even notice them do that. And we still got a little bit of temporary plumbing in there. Oh, there's some valves I hadn't seen before. Very good. So everything's still waiting for a McBooster to come along. Okay. Nothing going on over at this stand. I kind of half expect this stand maybe to use still one day for the ship testing, but I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe
Okay, let's
for a
go over.
new payload bay and nose cone that's gonna have like a cargo door or something. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Some kind of ship sections, yeah.
But who knows?
Okay, over at the test stand for the test tank. Oh, I'm forgetting which numbers now. 18, I guess.
Booster 18.3.
Yeah. We can see they've added some more to this test structure for the grid fin. We guess for the grid fin socket test. Get some nice big chunky steel on top, ready for to attach stuff.
Yeah, we've got that one, and then last week we had seen that they had put the arm over on that next one around the corner, and they've added the last of the pieces we've seen over the last few weeks is now vertical on that side as well.
So we saw these pieces, didn't we? And we saw this cross over near the methane farm. I think that's the cross. Is that right, Alex? That cross?
Yep.
And these pieces and that piece here are all integrated now. So it's pretty fairly robust. Yeah, go flight 11. Okay, speaking of flight 11, we better get out of here soon. Okay, is this the photo? We can see, this one will do, where this tank blew out here, and the ram that was in there is now sitting down here, parked. I wonder if the ram, maybe not, the ram might not have blown out as well, I guess. No, it wouldn't be able to, it would have been bolted onto this, so it wouldn't have come out. I don't know whether they're repairing it or just get it out of the way, ready to get rid of this tank.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I actually think the gap there is actually quite a bit bigger. I don't actually think that ram was actually within the structure, because I'm pretty sure there was one of those rod linkages that actually came out out of the test article before the connections, but it's hard to tell from this particular angle that there's that much depth.
Yeah, like this system here, where there's a rod actually inside the tank here. That's good. That's a good point. The other question I have here is if they're going to put they put those new lugs on down underneath here for the pull-down rams. If they're going to put the cap on here, are they going to pull out these rods and use them again, or are they going to drag out the old ropes? I'm guessing they're going to use these rods again when they pull the cap off this old test tank 17 finally.
I'd imagine they'd have to make an adapter, though, for that cap to fit on that. Yeah.
Yeah, true. So, BJ, you're saying they're lifting something here on one of the lab cams, so they're maybe going to do something more with this tank?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It was a very small piece, but the LR 11,000 had lifted something in this area. I mean, it could have been turned around. It was definitely faced towards the camera, so it wasn't lifting something behind. But it looked like some kind of small hardware was lifted down in between the test structure and the test articles. So it does seem like, and the fact that, I mean, that was many weeks ago that the blowout happened, and we've seen a lot of welding and things going on. So apparently the tests that they want to do with this article aren't done yet, because they're still doing something with it.
Yeah, the fact they haven't taken the cap off yet is sort of an indicator they haven't, well, you'd think would be an indicator they haven't finished testing either. But it is SpaceX, and nothing's ever definite like that. So.
It is odd, to say the least.
Some really nice angles once again this week. We'll run down to the front, check out the bunker and this little area down here. Bunker's looking a lot like this mega bunker at the launch site. This what do they call it? Brutalist sort of architect.
Yes, but this is exquisite.
Alcatraz style. Notice some kanjis popping up around the back here, and doesn't look like they go into the bunker. It looks more like they go around the bunker, and maybe they're in this trench over here.
Well, it makes sense. The potential that that could be a transformer pad back there, and they'd be getting their mains feed over to that direction, and then coming back into the building, potentially.
Oh, the big mains, yeah, with the big mains coming in from the street, so the big mains transformer.
And then all the switching and control gears inside the building, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'd be like a distribution too, because from this building we've noticed and control, I guess, but they've got kanjis going to these two bunkers too, which would have control gear, and into this bunker, which would have control gear too. So I'm not exactly sure. I guess there'd be some control gear because there's not a bunker here yet, the lock side. So yeah, I guess there'd be a certain amount of control gear in here for some of the different areas, as well as obviously a distribution area for power.
To be able
I
to,
was-
it's probably to help be able to, if anything like 36 ever happened again, they can isolate different parts of Massey's by turning off power to them. Because I bet it's because it splits off via the conduits. They can turn off different sections and keep different sections running, rather than having to turn to generators again.
Absolutely, yep. That at the minimum, I would say, Ryan, for sure. I'd still imagine they're running the 2400 volts maybe, because there's transformers over there. So they'd be supposed to, unless the HV switching's done directly through over at this pad here, there may even be some high voltage switching inside here too. Okay, that'll do, I think, for Massey's. BJ, Alex, anything that obviously missed?
No, just the fact that we saw that the two stands were moved there. They obviously were moved. We touched on it on this past episode because they moved right after it. Seems like the booster one's just parked there. There is a lot of stuff around the ship cryo stand as they start working on it.
It's more than just
Oh, no.
parked there. They did
Yeah.
something to it.
Big news on that. They've got new booster clamps on it. That's right. Thanks, Ryan.
Oh, 5
Yeah.
By the old crap.
I actually missed that. Good spot.
So that might come into play when we get to the launch site, but like till we get there.
I know Ryan and I have this little discussion going on at the moment whether this could have a booster with engines sat on it. And I don't think it can, but Ryan somehow thinks they can pull some magic and get it to fit with engines on. But we'll keep this discussion going, Ryan, and we'll see what happens.
A couple of workers and some plasma cutters, you can do just about anything.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's on stuff.
We'll see. One of us is going to be right, one of us is going to be wrong, and I mean, you can just add. If I'm wrong, you just add it to the tally, So.
And what are they doing over at the? Oh, they've got scaffolding, right, on the thanks, BJ. Scaffolding on the ship cryo stand. Which is interesting. Okay, that should do, Massey. So, Andy, we'll just jump over to you for a minute and ask for questions and donations on our whole 340 people in chat.
Sure. We actually have one question. Timothy Creed asks, with Booster V3 hot stage design, will they still block off a section to control the direction of the separation?
Probably not. I think they switched up how they're handling hot stage and boost back.
Right on.
Didn't I read somewhere they're going to adjust the engines at boost back somehow to make it flip one way or the other? Is that what did I see there, or am I making that up again?
No, that they discussed that, I think, during the last launch stream.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Cool. All right. So, thanks. I see a couple of donations there, at least one anyway there,
Yep.
Indy.
I got one for you from Martin, just Martin. He donated £20 towards our goal of a new laptop and a Starlink.
Oh, you couldn't log into PayPal. So we're preferring people pay through PayPal. And I guess there should be a link, or if someone can put a link in chat, or at least in the description, perhaps put a link in would be a better idea for people later on watching this show after the launch, so they can access the PayPal for us. Thanks. Okay, let's move on to Sanchez then. Not a great deal going on at Sanchez this week. There's a bit of a tidy up happening over here at the Ground Fab building. We can play the jigsaw puzzle game. We can do it here too. Sorry, at Massey's here. Play the jigsaw puzzle game of where all the different pieces are going to go. Was it here at the launch site? Maybe it was at the launch site. Don't know about that.
We'll edit it out.
I guess the big news at Sanchez this week is everyone's favourite vehicle has arrived en masse to
But
Starbase.
so many dumpsters just sitting out in front of Sanchez there. It really is. It's a lot of dumpster trucks. Yeah.
And we can notice they put charges at each of these, and Cybertruck only charges at each of these car parking spaces. And these lot over here actually plugged in for now. And we can play the the Sesame Street game. One of these cars is not like the other one. Now, you think they could have parked them like neatly, but anyway, we won't look at that. Automatic.
Also, don't look that they've only got 2 chargers for every 3 vehicles too, so you can't can't charge them all simultaneously.
I thought I counted they.
Actually, it's not quite 2 to 3. It's like 2 for every 5 or so. It's a weird count.
And that's the like 20 amp version. It's not even the good chargers.
Over here, it seems to be.
Yeah, it is every other, but it's every other, but like it doesn't start. It starts at the second, so at one point it looks like it's weird. I was seeing it as like 1 in the middle of every 3, but it was funny.
No, you're right. Over here, it is like that. But they're different. I didn't notice that. But yeah, this one here, it is like that. 3 per pair of charges. Huh, hang on. Let me double check that. Sorry, just give me a second here. So those two. Yeah, that's different. It's different on this side or that side.
But it's not centered either, which is the weird part. It's like, okay, well, put it centered between the 2 or something. It's just a funny spacing. It looked funnier. It looked funnier than I initially thought.
No, you're right down here. That's exactly right. I didn't notice that. Thank you.
No, you were right. It's still every other one. It's just the way that they're spaced and the way the cords are running. It makes it look like it's every 3rd. We can move on.
We're gonna move on. Don't worry.
I probably was talking us into a rabbit hole that isn't a rabbit hole even.
It's all good. That's how we have our good conversation start like that. So it looks like they're keeping the quick disconnect for the ship static fire. So we're going to see that happen again. No, I'm kidding.
Just wait. I think they're just waiting until this thing actually leaves the ground. Once the stack is gone, I think that is scrap along with the stand with it. But it's going to leave the ground first.
Just a few inches is all. Oh wait.
Yeah, and then they're gonna. That's a different story. So these are either a template or a gasket for underneath these hoods, which we should see move soonish after our news from the launch site in a minute. We'll get back to that.
Yeah, I was wondering. I'm
Um,
I'm really curious to see our first time when those are actually split apart. I'm almost the way I looked at it is that the hoods themselves don't actually have mounting hardware on them, and those have to be assembled onto them before they can go onto the launch mount.
right, they're going to be welded underneath here to actually. Okay, yep.
Especially the vertical one, because I mean, like I said, since we haven't seen them apart from each other, there may not be any bolt surface on the inside, and those may be the bolting surface that need to be put on yet.
I wonder if
They
there is
are.
a bolting surface in there and they're actually bolted together now.
Don't know.
So
We've
for
never
just,
seen. We've never seen it. We saw it on the truck just like this. We saw it here and just like this. It's like we haven't seen them apart to know yet.
like even because the lifting hooks are 2 lifting hooks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, good point. Yep. Yeah, that will be interesting to see those split apart and put up on the launch site. Now this stand here finally has its hardware booster hardware domes put in. It's finally grown a pair. Sorry. I promised I wasn't going to say that. So it's ready for a booster pretty well, which is good. Booster version 3, ready for booster 18. And I guess they parked the booster 15's transport stand on the highway just in case they want to go and recover the booster. No. I guess it'll come back here soon and get upgraded to these booster version 3 clamp arms. What did you make of this, BJ? We had a bit of a discussion. We couldn't quite work out what that was.
Yeah, I haven't dug into it. I did notice it there when I was looking at things last night, but it kind of looks similar to some of the platforms that they use for the engine lifts in Mega Bay 2. But this one definitely has a slight difference to the previous one, so I'm not quite sure.
It looks like a larger version of that side landing tank fixture stand that they have.
Yeah, that too.
All right, cool. Now we've got this stand, new type of stand was built through the week. Last week we only saw it as little tiny legs. Now I had a look over at the building site. It's very different. Let me just do that as another comparison. Worked out it was very different to the ones over there. These ones over here. I thought they were kind of similar, but they're very different. The center circle's very different and the legs are very different. Well, this one doesn't even have legs compared to this one.
Or you could look at this ones in the scrapyard as well.
Oh, yeah, of course, yep.
Yeah, it seems to me
sorry.
that it seems to me that this one with the bigger hole might even have some kind of similarity where it's a newer stand for dealing with the new landing tank potentially.
Yep, of course. Yep, with a bigger diameter, yeah. Okay, next to it, they've started to make more of these stands over here. We slow down and stop doing that for a while, but they look like they've started again. So maybe they need just 1 or 2 extra ones again. And of course, the nose cone lifters are still there. Okay, this area. So those covers are still sitting over there. No real change on them that I can see. And this device is still sitting there. With anything to note we've learned recently is the rams are not symmetrical as it is. This is probably the far left it can lean, and it can lean over to the right perhaps only with the way the rams, these ones are extended and these ones are fully retracted, so it seems a bit limited how that will move. Still don't know what it's for though.
We finally have 12 more of the doors in the inventory area, so I think we have like 20 over
Got extras.
20.
Extras.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone those might need to go to a different Launchpad. You know, something that has 39A in it. I don't know.
I've heard of that place.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Well,
don't know where that
extra.
is.
They got 2 extra clamp arms here, so why not have extra doors for them as well?
Right.
And right about in the center there, Stephanie, just down into the left of your hand is where they're at. They're kind of a little hidden, a little farther left.
Warmer.
Yep, right about
Hot.
there. There's a few there,
Oh,
a
yeah.
few there, right?
Cool. Extras. Yeah. But okay, why bring him? Why bring him here then? I don't know. Anywho,
Well,
Like
eventually
two
there'll
extra
be.
hours.
Eventually there is going to be another OLM that needs to be built here. So
That's true.
yes, true. Okay, ship quick disconnect arm seeing a little bit more work this week. We've got some cryo lines. I'll look from the other side. So it looks like that rack thing's missing. You can see some
It's
cryo lines here.
it's there. It's just to the left.
yeah,
On
they just
the
shifted it off screen left.
Ah,
There.
so it's not for
Yeah.
the cryo pipes after all.
Yeah, it still
Uh,
could be.
I think it.
Oh, maybe it
might
goes on
be.
top. Oh, sorry, BJ.
Yeah, I think right now it's actually rotated 180 degrees to the orientation. So when you do flip it up, it'll fit the right way. We actually a teaser out of Greg Scott's for stuff that we actually saw this same frames for the 39A arm as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So maybe that sits over the top as like a protection at launch,
Yeah.
and then cladding on the SQD arm. Ooh, that's a novel idea. Okay, we see the cryo lines here coming up here. So there. So that part's sort of almost ready to mount. We saw the line boring done on this, and we saw the line boring done on the tower. So once that LR11000's back together again, we may see this get lifted even. Still no news on the extension, so I have to keep a lookout for that. Okay. Scrapyard. So, RIP, we finally get to say goodbye to ship 26.
Thank God.
They've barricaded this area off back here, so kind of closed in the scrapyard area from this side, or maybe it's because they want to clear all this. Looks like they want to clear all this area up for more of this steel work, which we can segue over to this steel work. Not sure whether it's for Mega Bay 2 or it's actually for the new Giga Bay, all this steel work platforms, and maybe they'll be putting them in as they go. I'm not sure if there's any definitive answer one way or the other there.
Yeah, the gray stuff is actually all of the Mega Bay 1 access platforms. They've just moved it from the other spot. I think similar reasons why the booster cryo stands, or well, both of the cryo stands were moved, is that they've cleared out a lot of that area next to Mega Bay 2. But in that previous view, all the white steel is Mega Bay 2 for that front right workstation, and then the gray steel is all for access in Mega Bay 1.
Oh, Mega Bay 1, yeah. I suppose, especially with that new corner on the front right corner. Oh,
Yeah,
all
and
of
obviously the
stands.
right side, and now that all the boosters are out, we're going to see everything we've been seeing kind of happen. Well, kind of seen what's happened on the left side will be starting to happen on the left and the right side and the center as well.
Oh, in Mega Bay 1, you mean?
Yes, in Mega Bay 1, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. The drainage, while we're here, the drainage looks all nice and finished. Nice concrete everywhere now. It's beautiful.
Did you guys talk about last night in the show and tell about what the new ring that's sitting next to Ship 20, where that came from?
No, we guessed it was an old ring. I did say that the adapter ring's still here. Maybe they'll use it again. I'm joking. No. I mean, we did talk about it.
Like one of the first things I was thinking is that it came off of the booster cryo stand or something, but I don't. Was that the one that was previously bolted to the clamps, or am I remembering that wrong?
I recognize it, but I can't place it as well.
I think that came off the old crusher. Maybe? Like the old can crusher that 18.3 is on right now. I think.
No, I think that's still there because I think they welded that new mating surface onto it, so it's probably something that they snuck out of the factory, and I'm just not remembering seeing it.
But they unbolted because there's that exposed machine mating surface on the old can crusher that they added the current mounting to.
Yeah, and that was added to the ring, so they didn't remove that that other adapter ring had that new plate steel put on top. It was so it's
Yeah.
not that one.
It was something. It wasn't from that. I know that.
The
Yeah.
ship?
Oh, the old down here. So yeah.
It could have been.
That-
Yeah, because that's the
That's
ring I thought it was. I will go with that. Because there is that ring that's on that. Unless it came off the ship crusher.
Yeah, Ship Crusher didn't have anything like that,
No.
so I don't know where it that was what reminded me, but and I was starting to question whether the cryo stand had it as well, but I don't think it did. I think it's just something else that's come out of the factory that's old tooling from the version 2 era.
12, or what's it sitting on?
12 sitting on that old booster stand. Really, really old
Kind
one.
of, it just reminded me of the bottom disc. It's not it, obviously, but
I still find it funny how they hold that thing down.
Yeah.
oh,
It's oh man.
it's rather rugged.
no,
Well,
no, I'm not going to talk about it.
No?
Not yet.
it won't be long. Once this disappears, I won't have to ever see it again unless you go looking for it.
No, 10 more minutes, and then, you know.
Okay, so there's obviously a lack of booster 15 here. Okay, I think that's Sanchez. How are we going over in chat? Indy, how's chat going?
It's going well. No questions or anything at this time.
Thank you. What have we got? 300, nearly 400. Yeah, it's bit of a quiet stream today. We understand, yeah, there's a launch on and everything, and yeah, everyone's up on their channels. I can see on the other Discord channels there's a few people around here and there. But, like I said, this will be documented for people to look at later on. So, before we go to the build, sorry, I remind everyone to show some support and become a member of the YouTube channel or Discord and come along and join in some of the show and tells. It's always good fun. We have a lot of laughs and we go down some fairly deep rabbit holes, which is always good fun. Okay, build site. Yeah, build site. That one will do. Okay, Giga Bay this week. My goodness, has Giga Bay come a long way this week? Shows no signs of slowing down. And so they finished all the base concrete under here. Oh, that one was done last week, but these sections here. And they poured probably about a third of all the concrete, plus IL2 started, which is pretty awesome. And of course, we've got a symbolic start to the actual Giga Bay with one post being put up. I guess it's symbolic. And we've got some tower cranes. So, BJ, what's with the tower cranes? You named them before.
Yeah, so interestingly, they're using a different model here. There's a striking resemblance to them. This particular crane is a very old crane. It comes from a Favel Favco design, so the towers look very similar to the Roberts Road tower modules, but these are actually from a company previously called FMC. Linkbelt has been associated with them. But this one in front of us, best I can tell, is a TG 1900. We have noticed that the tower on the right is slightly bigger than the tower on the left. Suspicion there is that the one on the right might be a TG 2300, so a slightly more capable version of the same model. Interestingly enough, they're starting to build that the LR 1300 that was previously building the Mega Bunker is currently actually being built here now. And it seems as though they're going to start with a taller tower for these tower cranes initially. As we look at the pieces that they've combined at Roberts Road, they started with a 24-meter tall tower. Looks like they're going to start with a 40-meter tower, and it must be that they need a slightly taller crane to actually do the final assembly before it can start climbing itself.
And before we missed here at there's a new lot at Brownsville. There's a new storage lot where they're storing bits and pieces of the crane, the tower crane. So it's got its jibs and its masts, some winch there, and the 1300 you was talking about, I believe, is over here.
Yep, this morning they started bringing all those parts over here, and they've been building it right in the entry to the ring yard at Giga Bay.
Cool. So I should actually see that on the stream, couldn't we?
Yeah, I was in that chat room all morning, as I commonly am right now, just following all the Giga Bay construction. So we were kind of watching that crane get built.
Ta-da! There it is, right there.
Yep, almost done. They're just finishing. They strapped the counterweights on the right. And they still have to strap the ones on the left to the lifting tray before they can lift it up on the crane itself. And a couple of the boom pieces are there, but a few more pieces need to arrive, and they can finish building that.
Okay, cool. So that's flying ahead. So they could possibly overtake Florida at some stage soon. Actually, while we're here, there's also that other lot. Apologise, I missed going here before. There's the other lot. No, not that lot.
Yep.
This lot that has the steel for the Giga Bay here.
Yeah, and there's actually in that other lot near Brownsville, it had a pretty decent amount of columns in it as well.
Yeah, over here, yeah. Cool. Now I have a image of that, hang on. Just to get your bearings, there's the airport at Brownsville, and there's a new storage lot over here, thanks to Event Dudes for pointing that out to me.
Of which
This
we can
photo's
thank
got-
Dave, and we can thank Dave for that, because he was the one who spotted it when he was down there last weekend.
Dave Avery, yep, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll go to those photos later if we have time. Okay, back to because we've got a launch to go to after this. So this side is getting much the same as the other side, getting all ready to be concreted. Looks like they've got all their services pretty well under control over here. So that was stormwater, was it?
Or sewer.
Yeah, one of the two. I think it's sewer on the left potentially. There's some bigger ones on the other side that look more like they might be part of the drainage system along the garage that are much bigger than the rest that we've seen on the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Green
So
is storm or sewer.
It looks like these will be amenities under here, I guess, for a toilet and wash basin and whatever, and perhaps here as well. They're going to be have 6 or whatever, 8 sort of amenities areas in the whole building. Perhaps they'll do the same at the front. I'm not sure. They've been doing that at the front as well.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen a whole lot on the front. It's mostly been on the north and west sides. The front, they've been running some stuff out in front, but nothing right up against I shouldn't say nothing, but very little against the actual building.
Oh, there's no pipe sticking up out of the ground here, out of the concrete.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, cool, yeah. Okay, yeah, so no slowing down of Giga Bay, sorry. So they poured these slabs, so those two look flush, but this one does look like it's slightly inset. Is that right, BJ?
No, it's flat. Those two happen to be poured more recently than the other two. I think we're just seeing a fresher finish that hasn't taken any weathering.
Yeah, that is
yeah.
those are what you're thinking is those are likely turntables, so they don't really need to be lower. I'd be curious to see how all the other 18 stations are set up once they pour the floors and everything like that. But those will likely have a turntable on top of them, is my guess.
Yeah, and my other suspicion is that I have a feeling that all 24 of these particular pads, given the fact that they've been isolated, may just be for some isolation. But I think it also could be that that concrete is very temporary, more temporary than SpaceX is on concrete.
Yeah, vapor barrier, reinforcement. I don't know.
I think those are there to stay, but I'm curious to see on the other pads.
No, they're
Which I
just for
think
increasing their degree of difficulty for demo.
I said I think. I didn't say for sure. Because we know SpaceX and designs, they always change their minds at the last moment. Or later down the line, they go, son of a gun. I'll just take a jackhammer to it.
Okay, got a bit of concreting going on around the front here and around the back here. Looks like they'll eventually bring all that concrete through here, I guess.
I love the symbolic singular steel post that they put in.
Yep.
Yeah,
Very
It's
a
sad
start.
solo
It's
stick.
great. It's great. I love it. It's just we're gonna put one up to say we started it.
I wonder if that's for a contractor saying, "Look, we've had a date we have to start. Here we go. Look, we've started on the date, whatever. So we've earned our our part payment for the contract. What do you want to call it? There's a name for that.
Yeah, except it's the first column going up. It's traditional that they do that. They had
Alrighty.
drones
So-
out, and they had drones out when they put it up.
Very symbolic for the start of the Giga Bay. Okay. I think that's enough to talk about the Giga Bay. Any update on the amount of concrete trucks, BJ? That's what I was meant to ask you.
I can look one up here real quick. I mean, it's slowed down obviously since the pad, and I think we've given some information on the last official pour, but the pile cap officially came in at with a couple estimations at about 2,720 trucks.
Wow.
But yeah, my running total right now sits at 4,436 for the Giga Bay. I'm counting towards most of these pads. We're getting into a situation where we may not see the specific floor pours going forward. I know with Ship 38 getting ready for launch, this most recent pour was actually not visible at all.
So that's 40,000 cubic yards, give or take.
Yep, it's a lot of concrete.
A lot of concrete.
Cubic yards. What is that even?
Wonder
How
if they're
many
gonna
were
push-
for the piles?
1,353 are all from piles.
The real foundation.
I wonder if we're going to be a little bit delayed with this launch, but we'll see. As it's going on, because they haven't started the tower and mount vents yet, and usually that happens 30 minutes before prop load, and they're not started yet, so we'll see. Unless they decided to do a quicker chill down on the last flight, because why not?
Oh, we're 500 in chat now. G'day, chat. I'll just reiterate, we're still doing a fundraiser for a new computer for RGV to process the images. So there'll be a link somewhere in chat. I might get someone to put the link in chat again, please. And let's hear from Indy in a minute more about that. Okay, good view into Mega Bay 2 this week. You can see that's the ship lifting load spreader, I believe.
Correct.
Oh, there's that one of the counterbalance lifts. That's the smaller one, yeah. The bigger one's red, isn't it? And this is the Pez dispenser ring, I think.
Yes, it is.
See the good view of the platform up. There's the ship workstation platform being raised. Time for the dog's meds.
Yeah, I was really hoping this photo was going to give me a little bit more clear-cut evidence that all the clamps have been removed, because I've been saying the clamps have been removed from this stand for quite a while. I'm not 100% sure that this confirms or denies. I think they still are missing as they start getting ready to upgrade these for version 3 ships.
They're gone.
That's interesting. So this stand over here wouldn't have had any clamps put over about version 3 clamps from the start, I guess. Then.
Yep.
So you know, so all those stands, all the stands in all the mega bays now can be fully upgraded.
Yeah, I don't think
they
the
got a
back.
shot-
I'm pretty sure the back left one is missing its clamps already as well. Obviously, the front left has only been empty for a few days now, so it's a little less likely that they've already removed them.
Yeah, and I'm spotting Cybertrucks as we go around. I was doing that all through show and tell. They're everywhere. I'm telling you. It's like the new utility vehicles. Oh, golf carts, yeah. Slightly upgraded golf carts. They're like, you can have a Cybertruck, and you can have a Cybertruck, and you can have a Cybertruck. Oh, some are saying they're not paying wages now. They're paying people in Cybertrucks. No, I'm only kidding. Okay, so not much more to say about Mega Bays, I don't think. Oh, here we can see in this Mega Bay here. Can't really see whether there's clamps or not, can we?
Yeah, it's a little too dark in the back there. In that previous photo, you could see right in front of the bay that one of the last remaining columns for the access platforms seems to be sitting down there too. The stockpile that we saw over at the back corner of Sanchez seems to be missing all of its uprights. It's all other pieces over there. So we've seen that the yellow crane, that's the biggie crawler crane that's just off the bottom of the screen, had been working on that workstation for the better part of the last week. So they've been installing a lot of those access platform structures.
Cool. Thanks, Indy, in chat. Awesome. All right, around the back, there's one new development. Where's around the back? Hang on. I haven't got my photos in order this week. This one will do. This one will be better. We're missing a mobile methane tank from this area. So it's all, and it's associated pipe work across there. So all the methane for the bakery now is coming from, well, I guess it's methane, and maybe propane or natural gas even. Is coming from here now via that trench. It's about all for back. Oh, what are they?
Yeah, I couldn't make out if it's pipe that's been removed from somewhere or if it's a stage to be installed somewhere.
Dust collection.
Cool. Okay, on to the apartment building. Wasn't anything really in the ring yard, was there, BJ?
I don't recall seeing much. I think I did notice that the last of those 3-meter barrel sections has finally gone away from back there. But that might have even been last week potentially that I saw that, if I remember seeing it correctly. But it's definitely not there this week. When we saw 4 of them there, probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I know a couple of them left right. I think 2 of them left right before the next flyover, and now they're all gone since then. So they must have gone back inside for some assembly.
So only just strainer ring is left.
I have some questions if you're ready.
Sure.
So the first question is from John T. He's asking, do we know how much they have used in the counterweight? I'm not sure if you remember when you guys were talking about crane.
Hang on.
All
You
right.
mean this counterweight? Or do you mean the counterweights on the tower cranes?
The
Yeah.
offset rig.
Tis a good question you guys all ask. I will find
Yeah,
out, and I'll ask you again.
I feel like some more clarity on the question would be good, but there's I think 110 tons is what the counterweight is on the 1300.
Perfect. Thank you. And then Timothy asks, were we ever able to find out what that odd stand in front of MB1 is for? The one that's not symmetrical?
Yeah, it's sitting on last week's photo shows it well. It's sitting on the turntable in the front right of Mega Bay 1.
Didn't it replace the scaffolding they had in the middle of that turntable?
Yeah,
Yes.
there had been always been some access for working on the inside of the barrels during the stacking process. That was just their new and upgraded permanent tooling.
Right on. And then the next question is from David. He asks, which workstation did Ship 39 get put on this morning?
It'll be on the turntable in the right-hand side of Mega Bay 2.
No, actually, it's probably in some open area between the front right and the turntable because they would have been sleeving the nose cone over the top of over the Pez dispenser, which happens on that stand that we were talking about earlier.
Nice. Thank you. And then last but not least, we want to thank Martin once again. He donated 5 gifted subs today. So thank you to Martin and congratulations to all the recipients.
So, BJ, just on that, wouldn't... thanks, Martin. Heaps. Appreciate it. A lot. Wouldn't, because the Pez dispenser's no longer here, wouldn't it already be sleeved and now put up on the turntable, perhaps? Just out of curiosity.
39 nose cone moved this morning. Am I not wrong? My weekend.
Sorry.
It moved this morning, so it couldn't have been done before the flyover.
And
Okay, sorry.
isn't the Pez dispenser still coming out of factory when these photos? There's a
There is
couple
a
shots.
shot. There's a shot of the There's a shot of the large door, which is partially open. I don't know what picture it is. I'd have to go look. But it literally shows the Pez sitting in the factory waiting to come out, because while Mauricio was doing the Massey's turn around and then headed back is when it came out of the factory, and went to make it. There it is, right there.
Sorry, that was dumb what I said then. Sorry, BJ.
That's the
1872, but you already found it.
Yeah, I was for a second there. I was questioning the fact that I have not been paying the most attention in the last 36 hours. So it was one of those ones where, okay, what was the time frame? When did the photos take place? When did things move? Because everything moved in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm good at
Nose
saying dumb
came out
things.
Yeah, the nose.
a couple hours ago.
It was
10
like
hours ago.
4. The nose cone was actually like 12 hours ago.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So it is probably sleeved over it, maybe partially welded, but they've already cleared out the production site at this point. So my guess is that'll just get worked on tonight and then give it 2 or 3 days. Give it a few days, and then we should see the forward rollout for stacking.
So if it's yes, I'm not. Did you say the Pez dispenser has rolled out?
Yes.
Yeah, Pez was rolled out before the nose cone because it gets lifted up on top of that ring right there.
It was rolled. The Pez dispenser was rolled out before Mauricio even finished the flyover. He was still in the air when it rolled into Mega Bay 2.
Oh, we didn't get a picture of it being rolled from the air. All right, thanks. Sorry about the confusion there. But when they do get that Pez dispenser and the forward section together, that'll go up on the turntable, I imagine, then. Sorry, I totally got confused then myself. Confused yous all. And you hear? We can edit that, can't we, Matt? moving on to the apartment building. This thing's going together very, very quickly. It's this prefab modular system works very quick. I'm sure I've got a better picture of it here. Hang on.
Well, I would guess I will give a quick update while we're here. We got the vents on the tower and the mount, so they're going with chill down. So
Woohoo!
the actual T0 is probably waiting to hear from SpaceX at some point here. But yeah.
Got some activity on the farm.
Yeah, it just
guess-
died down before it was completely engrossed in vapor.
Yeah, if you the tower and OM vents are going. They're on SBL zoomed in if you want to see it. If you do that one.
Let's quickly look at SBL. Thank you, NASA Spaceflight. I'm not even sure we're supposed to be using that channel, but anyway, there's some venting. We'll quickly go away from that now.
And use SBL. It's the public channel.
All right, cool. Just
Yeah,
not sure how that
fine,
works.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's shown in a lot of places. There's nothing wrong with it.
All right, we've got half an hour before SpaceX start their live stream.
We'll see. They may push it. There was at least a 12-minute delay in those vents, so either it's
Okay.
delayed or it's quick, or they'll
It's
do a quick
gonna
chill.
be delayed.
Yeah, that's my guess. Probably like by 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
And
because this
Steph,
is
Okay.
early
says-
and what's that?
I was just saying, Eventu says the Pez is in the doorway waiting to be rolled from Star Factory.
Yeah, and that one of these, I forget which picture it was now, but yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, the chill down isn't even ready for prop load yet.
Oh, not even close. Yeah, it takes like half an hour to get that ready for prop load.
Alrighty. Thanks for the update, Ryan. Appreciate it. Now, so I've seen significant work in this back section this week and significant work in the car park. We can see there's a ramp system over there. I think this photo shows the ramp system better. So that's all the ramp in here. I can see the angle in here. So lots and lots of parking. There's a piece being put in now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and roof parking. So 6 levels of parking. And we can see the car parks isolated. I think we mentioned that over the last few weeks. And they've isolated these sections too here. They've isolated these sections as well. I guess for expansion.
They're starting to put up the parapet facade.
Yeah, this week in
Sorry?
this photo, we could just see around the north side too. I was surprised to see that that there was not as I was hoping with the roof lifts and the boom lifts working on that side that there would have been more than just some safety railings installed on that side.
Yeah.
Where's that photo? Hang on. 1 second. I can't find it. That one?
That's a good one. The comment I was making was actually in that last one that you're in before you move. But yeah, you can see how the parapet wall's making its way around, like Alex was saying.
Up there. Gotcha. So I had to reach into my memory banks there to work out what you're talking about for a sec. Cool, thank you. Okay, LBJ has got paint and look more. Oh, they're everywhere, man. There's one over here too, a couple over here. It's like Find Wally, except Waldo, sorry, but we call it Find Wally in Australia. but they're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. The village buildings. Yeah, I think that's about all for the build site. Anything we missed at the build site? I don't think so.
Yeah, in the village we did it, and we could see now that the one side of that playground area is actually beach volleyball. I don't think we 100% got that figured out last time. They weren't quite along, but you can see the uprights are there for that area.
Fun.
Cool.
And without a shock, because as me and Alex were just talking about, the SpaceX account entered a hold, so waiting on the new time for that. Shocker,
I have my shock face on.
right?
Why does it look like my normal face?
That's a good question. I got a
Right?
question.
Yep, go for it.
42.
Liam asks, I'm sure it is. Liam asks, did we ever find out what the empty void in the new office building was?
Oh, you mean the indent in the roof? You mean?
It's an architectural feature because they forgot
It,
they ran out of things to put in the building.
exactly. Because
It
there's
maintained-
no reason at all to put those exhausts right there.
It's a privacy screen to keep the. It's the same thing how they have the false facade on the parapet on the Star Factory to even out the roof line.
That's a good question.
Fair enough.
So, the leading, to be honest, the leading idea is from Cumulus Groundus. Actually, that maybe it's somewhere they can bring things in, but I still,
No,
other than that, I have no idea.
it's just like they did on the factory. It's to maintain the sight line so it doesn't have a step down. Like
Yeah, probably.
the parapet walls on the factory to make it appear the high nose cone sections taller than it is. Yeah.
Before we leave launch site, I guess we should quickly look at this being 39's nose cone barrel section with its new goopy little T-Rex legs, forearms.
The drogue part of the probe and drogue system that they will use for docking. I would be curious to see if the aft section will have the probe or it will be both drogue. I'm kind of expecting one probe and one drogue system, but we'll see.
And a different landing pin system design.
More CS thrusters. You got a Starlink antenna more towards the windward side. No socket for the pin because those are gone now. And then that's the stabilizer pin for the 4-point lifter that goes alongside the catch pin.
We're going to have all the dogs all around the world barking right now. Morgan's saying hello to everyone around the world. Hello, the world.
Hello, Morgan.
There's some roll thrusters, I believe. Is that right, them?
Yeah, those should be new roll thrusters, which I hope they're hat gas thrusters.
Right?
They better be. And, I will say this. Those kind of thrusters are not on the current ships. So it just goes to show that SpaceX is realizing that when it comes to docking operations, they are going to need actual RCS or at least more RCS than what they have. So.
Or wait for it. This is the first one that they ever intended to hit orbit. And for their ballistic trajectories, you really didn't need that much control authority.
Just enough to keep it stable in coast phase, and that's about it.
Yep.
These, once you get into orbit, it's going to have to stay in orbit, and it's also going to have to stay in control. When you do TLI burns, Mars burns, you do orbit raising and lowering burns, rendezvous operations, you're going to need a lot more control on these vehicles. So, yeah.
Barbecue rolls.
Yep.
Yeah, especially the ship was the tiles are going to have to.
And Starship is go for prop load.
Yay!
To the launch site.
To the launch site. It was perfect
Send
timing.
me on!
So my dogs are having zoomies and my dogs are going mental. Hang on. We'll go to launch site now for sure.
Yeah, the SpaceX broadcast is pushed to 5:57, so we're still 30 minutes out.
Yeah.
37
Oh,
minutes.
cool. Just
Which
enough
means
time to do the
launch
launch
at
site.
6:30, 15-minute delay. Oh, it's like we figured that.
Wow.
Shocker. Shocked face.
Oh, look at all the
Completely.
tourists. Wow.
Does it look like Alex's?
Okay, I guess a good place to start the launch site is the launch vehicle itself, looking like a nice normal stack, the last of the version 2s you'll ever see, so feast your eyes, and that's now a memory. Well, not quite, in a minute it'll be a memory.
As
People
long as
on
we
the
have
beach.
ship 20.
What'd you say, long live ship 20?
A couple spare boosters.
Now, where's that photo I'm looking for? Oh, this one here. Oh, there's a picture with some people in the background, but I can't. The dog. You have to excuse my doggies. Well, there's some people in the background. Oh, no, not. It doesn't matter. I'll find it later. It doesn't matter. It was interesting. There's a couple of dudes over here and a couple of ladies over here. We thought the ladies were over here not interested in the rocket, and the dudes were over here being very interested in the rockets. I thought it was kind of funny. Alrighty, let's go to pad 1. Pad 2, sorry. Or pad B. So this week, lots and lots and lots of cladding getting put on. It's almost finished, which is good to see. I'll just bring up last week so you can have a comparison. My dogs are going absolutely crazy in the background here.
SpaceX forget to release the hold on their website. It's kind of funny.
And none of us can actually hear the dog stuff, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Awesome. So compared to last week, we can see areas like up here and over here and down here and over there are all filled in. So there's really only this corner up here and this corner here. Back at Sanchez, so quickly, we can see the bits that are missing over here. So we've got those couple of triangle pieces, a little triangle piece. These bigger pieces here will be for up here. They'll fill in this area here, so this will look nice and neat all the way up to here and then across horizontal across there. Looks like they're still doing heaps of big welding with the heat mat still being employed.
Seven-minute delay.
Remember, they can
Oh,
hold
goodness.
it at 40
Yeah.
seconds.
6:23:41 is the new T0 because why not?
Trying really hard to behave.
All right, control the dogs. Right, we've got cryolines on the lock side. That's pretty exciting. So hopefully we'll have those things do match exactly that, don't they? Those plates.
Yeah, if you look at the
Yep.
top on the back of the top hood, it's the same thing.
But were these ones that shape or were they square?
The
These are
square,
the square ones.
the bottom, the large ones are for the bottom, and
Yeah. And we can see that shape there for the top of the hood.
yeah.
Up there. Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming the tops have the plates that they're bolted together, and the only curious thing is the methane side doesn't look like it's drilled yet.
Yeah, these sides probably have their plates already welded in there yet to bolt them together. Just quickly over here, there was a couple of flex lines here too, I think. Over here. Maybe for the methane side, perhaps.
I think
Yeah, there
the
we go.
methane was.
The methane
the
one's
other
already
crate.
installed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
so-
it was installed after this
Yeah, yeah, already meaning since the flyover. Yes.
because this happened in the morning that hose was installed at like 2 or 3 p.m. Central Time, something like that. I think it was like 3.
But fully
okay, cool.
bolted.
Yep. Well, that's exciting. So both of them have methane, so they should be able to put a booster on here soon. No, I'm kidding. Well, it'll be a while before they have a booster ready for here. I think in here we can see the pins that the boosters sit on. It's a good vision too of how the actual clamp arms have part of the cover for the hull, and then those little other covers we see at Sanchez will fit over the rest of the hull here. Oh, also at Sanchez, over at Sanchez too, there was a heap of green pipe work. We see it in this photo perhaps, down in here, which may be so they're going to add more of the water deluge somewhere, I think, at the launch site. And perhaps it's for around on that one that isn't hooked up yet. We've got a picture of it in here. This one that's not hooked up yet, it may be something to do with that. Perhaps it's still only speculation. Actually, while we're here, good segue to here. Looks like that embed, we found a spot for the embed here, and we've got some commodities here. No cryo, but high pressure gases, or gases at least, here. So they looks like they're going to have some kind of quick disconnect here of some sort. So we're talking about this in the cell that because the booster has 2 quick disconnects, that maybe this will plug into the actual stand, and maybe a stand will actually have quick disconnects on it for a booster, or not sure what's happening there.
Both for the booster and or ship.
So the stand will have the actual QDs, and this can plug into either.
Or be a QD tower. Which will be hilarious. Everything old is going to be new again.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what they do with this. You know.
Can't wait to see the Claw 2.0.
Or 2.0.
Ooh, I got
that wait. So it grabs onto the grid fins?
Yes.
Ooh,
The grapple.
Oh, the grapple hooks onto the grid fins? Yeah.
Yes.
Like some like Wolverine claws, like and grabs onto the grid. There you go. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here.
That's a perfect catch mechanism.
Yes.
So they've got this ready to lay concrete. They've laid concrete in that little bit over the other side. Hey, well, I'm silly some days. So this is the original cable tray that ran up on the outside of the tower for some whatever reason, because I think it should have been able to go up inside the tower, to be honest. And they've added this new cable tray on the other face of this leg as well. I didn't realise this cable tray was here till today.
Yeah.
Which I should.
I don't know why they need another one. For reasons, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Why not?
They both go to about the same height, around the SQD arm height here.
Well, one goes to where they're going to install the QD arm now, and the other one goes to where it'll be installed for Block 4, more or less.
Perhaps,
Kinda
yeah.
what it is. Or give it
Stephanie,
away.
before we get too far from the flame trench, you might look there at the left side on the GSE structure side. Something to point out that was seen in our flyovers and in ground images. There's actually a new vent that is on the right-hand side of the structure as well.
First dryer vent.
Right there, we've got ourselves a dryer vent, ship vent, cowbell vent, however you want to call it, but that has arrived as well. Something to keep an eye out for, especially when we start getting into testing. It might be somewhere to be looking for to get people's timings. And that one too.
down there. Yeah, and of course, there's the
Is it
big.
indicative of anything? When that vent goes, would it be indicative of anything that you know of?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyways. I know what I didn't need. I just learned of it earlier today, kind of looking at things and seeing some discussions, and I haven't been able to like trace any of the pipe work yet to see if we can figure out where it's connected.
Right on. And then I have some questions.
Sure.
So these are more questions about the launch site in general. Ali asks, why do they swing in SQD before stacking the ship, even though there is a good clearance to be done after stacking?
They have cameras on the QD arm that helps them align the ship and stack it. That's the main reason.
Nice.
Plus, it's easier to
Bree
swing
asks,
that in before the ship is fully lowered, too. So
it's easier? Why?
I mean, it's just so it's not in the way, kind of thing. Even though
got
it
it.
really doesn't
Okay.
get in the way, but it's mostly because it's got cameras on it.
Fair enough. Bree asks, for the air separation site, do we think the fill between all the concrete trenches to raise the site and the concrete trenches become runoff and retention?
They're
Good question.
already running some utilities in those trenches. So they're
Yes, we
more or
can-
less probably going to be a cable and pipe chase.
It's actually, you know what it's for? The event dude says it's just for parking machinery all along. That's all it's for, parking machinery.
He's not very often wrong, so you never know.
I know, right? So yeah, we might as well
Next
just go
question.
jump over here quickly. It seems like we're jumping around so much today. They tell me it's my ADHD playing up, but I don't know. It seems pretty normal to me. So this is, lots of wall work this week and not much else. Over here is interesting. Quickly, sorry, India, just give me a second. There may be some kind
Please
of
take your time.
rooms here for some
By the
electrical.
way,
Yeah.
we have methane load onto ship starting with the subcoolers going. So, just as a FYI.
Sweet.
Nice.
And so SpaceX's live stream's not up yet.
So are those can be like reflection pools, and they'll just sort of cascade down.
Yeah.
Sure.
The same over here, Alex. Over here, they're doing them over here too. By the look of it.
Oh, good. It's good to have
Okay, Andy,
places
thank
to
you.
ponder.
Thank you, Indy. Do you have another
Okay.
question?
I do. Samuel asks, do you think that they will clad the whole tower too, or leave it only on the bottom?
Well, so far they're only doing the bottom bit of it.
So from this picture right here, where it goes up to that point in this particular picture, the other side will reflect that, and that'll be it. That's all they're going to do, unless something comes up during a ship catch where they think they need more cladding. That's what they're going to do. Both sides will just mirror each other.
And only on two sides, or all four?
Two.
Just the two. There's no reason to do the backside.
Okie dokie. And then Hal asks, why does the roof on the base of the tower look so shiny compared to everything else?
Paint. Evil paint.
Is that another door?
Yeah, that's the
Looks like
access
it.
you get on the carriage.
I thought there was one over this side.
No, the other side was a temporary one, I think, but it's not permanent.
Okay, and this staircase will be permanent, won't it?
Hmm.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Indy. What, the shiny
Thank
bit? Oh,
you.
sorry, that's around the other side.
The shining
Yeah,
roof.
I mean, they haven't, to my knowledge, they haven't painted the roof of the back structure. I think most of it is just reflections because there's a number of different planes that everything's on, so it just different spots reflect differently.
I think they put like a
Shots.
coating on it or something. I thought I saw them. Someone with. I thought I saw a few of them with rollers a couple of months back putting something on it. I don't know though.
Yeah,
I
I
could
don't
have been
recall.
seeing
I
things.
didn't.
It's
Even
entirely
if it, but even if they did paint it, it's likely painted all the same, and it's just reflecting
Yeah.
differently.
So lots of
I did
scaffolding
get
in the
one more.
trench. Oh, yeah, go on.
Marv says, "Good day, Steph and friends. Any chance SpaceX would keep the top of the old OLM, turn it into something rather than scrap it, stage it, roadside getaway, building entrance, something cooler for posterity?"
Maybe, probably
Okay.
not.
Let's
G'day,
see.
by the way. Appreciate you mentioning my name, Marv.
Let's see.
And hi
Make
from friends.
an attraction for 10 minutes with a plasma torch.
Yeah, although they don't put the water deluge on and they launch, and that's always been a funny sort of option, hasn't it? But I doubt that'll happen. Although there was a lack of water being delivered to the deluge farm, but that's once again that's just a joke. Okie dokie. Where was I going next? Oh, lots of scaffolding in the trench. Maybe to finish those plates they're putting on around the legs. Seems a bit excessive even for that, to be honest.
It's probably
Oh, there's plates down
Probably
here. Oh, that's scaffolding. Sorry.
that's all scaffolding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to. I hadn't spent a lot of time looking at it. There feels like some bigger beams that are across the top there. When they first started putting this in, I was almost wondering if they're starting to work on some kind of structure underneath the OLM to be able to remove the work platform that's up in there. But I'm not so sure on that yet.
It would be funny
Right.
if
go on.
after all the scaffolding disappears, there's like a rail system installed for a work platform. I doubt it'll happen, but it'd be funny.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I agree with you, BJ. Is that either they're installing more spray bars underneath, or it's for reconfiguring the platform when they start putting on the doors and stuff.
So that platform wouldn't be able to come out through the top.
I mean, I think part of it could come out the top, but there's only so much that they're going to be able to do from standing on existing scaffolding. I mean, they can take some of it down, but the last pieces are either going to have to be taken out by lift or some structure underneath. So it just makes me think that they'll build themselves a secondary false floor underneath it to disassemble it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
early
okay, that
on
makes sense.
they had the scaffolding welded to the deflector pipes.
I'm just playing around on the Starbase live stream as well, checking out things. Alrighty. So now this little bit of covering here, we can see it's sitting over here, so that is getting covered. That little section, I don't think that was ever in doubt, but people ask. I get asked that a couple of times every time. Is that going to get covered? And, yeah, there's the plates for it. Okay, let's move on to. Shall we move on? We'll move on to the deluge farm.
Yeah, SpaceX Stream has moved forward. It starts in 10 minutes.
Okay, cool. We'll go to this area here first quickly. I feel rushed now. They've added an extra layer of racks here, so we'll see some more, and even more racks back there. We'll see some more of that happening very soon. I see Stumpy in Discord. G'day, Stumpy.
Yay, Stumpy, Stumpy.
Over to the water deluge farm. I guess the big news this week is they've hooked up the last gas generator system for the last 3 tanks, so it's all plumbed in, ready to go. They can't do anything yet because there's still a break in that pipe there. Now, I've got a better down photo. Hang on. 1 second. Once again, I didn't order my photos properly this morning. 1 sec. This photo here. So down in here, that pipe we saw earlier that hasn't been connected or anything yet over at the launch mount is still not connected there. They have connected this up. We thought there was going to be a butterfly valve, but it turns out it's just some kind of expansion joint, was it, Alex?
Yeah, it's isolator.
And
Like
they've
that bellows.
yeah, okay, yeah, and they haven't welded this end in yet quite. I think this week too we get a proper answer to whether these 6 tanks are connected, and we can see definitively here that pipe is not connected through to this manifold. That manifold's not connected to that manifold, so these are indeed split into 2 sets of 3, which I couldn't see it happening any other way from the day one, but for some reason we were somehow confused to think that both the manifolds were hooked together.
It's weird that they cut that manifold, that pipe there.
Yeah, I was just thinking that to myself. It was like that was a fresh cut to make the other end work, isn't it?
Yeah.
This week we get a good shot underneath the we'll come back to this shot in a minute. I've definitely got to organise my photos better next week, next time I do this. Okay, just quickly.
Doing a better job than I ever would, so.
I have so many saved pictures of pads, of vehicles, of everything, and it's some of it's partially organized. The rest of it, I need to spend some time organizing all my pictures for Starship because it's a lot.
It's not much. It's not much, but I was just going to show you how this system has exactly the same effect, but it's just plumbed slightly different to that side one. Whereas it comes into this side of this bank rather than coming into a T in between them. But it ends up doing exactly the same job.
And
I think-
booster prop load underway. Last part to get loaded will be the booster locks, and just waiting for the Olin vent to shut off at some point here shortly.
We've got our own little launch commentary going right here already with our guest speaker, Brian Weber.
I figured I'd keep everyone up to date. We're T-minus 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. What do you mean brave timing? We're doing fine. We've plenty of time. Relax. Brave timing for a launch. Brave time for a live. Who's that? S1NWAR. We're right. We got it. We got a handle on it. It's all good. We do crazy things. It's all good.
We're fearless in this place.
So that building looks pretty well. Sorry, Alex.
No. I'm sorry.
No?
No, I'm sorry. How much I like that building.
You're not sorry yet, Alex. Okay, around the front, they seem to have finished a bit of the concrete around the edge, but not around the back here yet.
That concrete is the foundation that they poured months ago.
Okay. They tried to tell me that through the show and tell. I didn't listen to you then either, did I?
No. You're smart not listening to me, but it still hurts my feelings.
No, I can speak for both Ryan and myself that we've both learnt endless amounts of information through you, Alex, and we very much appreciate it.
All good.
Indeed.
Now,
it's got windows.
Yeah.
I didn't notice
love
it
this.
If they last.
I love this little feature here in the concrete. Isn't that beautiful? Just to break
Yeah,
the whatever
yeah.
monotony.
Alex's favorite building.
It's almost as good. I don't know. The new bunker at Massey's is pretty sharp.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is 3-1.
NT baby.
This is Windows Vista.
NT,
Oh, God.
man.
NT's the bomb.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how long I ran 2000 because of Vista.
You know, the
Yes, same.
perfect for like analogy for the Starship program is Block 2, or at least ship Block 2 is Windows Vista. Let's hope
Oof.
that Block 3 is like Windows 7, right? Let's hope.
I'd say it's more like Longhorn, but that's just me.
XP was pretty good. We had XP for the longest time.
XP was good.
2000 was better.
NT was the best.
Yeah. I like the way they left this bit of dirt here for this building.
And
It's-
OLM vent off, so everything's
So-
getting loaded.
I still think that
Before you go-
this building's going. Go ahead, Indy.
Too far from the concrete building. Liam wants to know what's the running theory for what the new concrete bunker is for.
It's the cell block.
There's a lot of storage and sort of office space they used to have in shipping containers along that wall, as well as probably it's going to be the replacement for Steph's favorite building.
This triangle building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not quite
no,
square. I'm sort of more triangle than square. Nuts, even nuts. Hip diggy squat. Okay,
I
yeah,
thought your
that's
favorite
very-
building was
Alex,
the
that's a good-
diagonal one. The one that's
don't
like
have a
off
favorite.
center that drives your
skewed?
OCD nutso. Yeah, that one.
Oh,
Just to the left
speaking
of
of,
this bunker. That one.
yeah, your
Oh,
favorite
this
building,
one, yeah.
Steph.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one. Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah.
Steph's favorite building.
Oh, speaking
gone.
of, does everybody appreciate how the walls of the flame trench flare when it reaches up to the OLM level?
What?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, the walls flare right as it. So in case it triggers you, thank me later.
Where in here?
Yeah, it's wider at the top, and then it narrows out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just saying ole.
There'd be an aerodynamical answer for that, wouldn't they, Alex?
No, it's structural. The area it's sitting on around 5.5 foot instead of the 4.5 foot that most of the walls were. But
SpaceX train is looking rather rusty these days. It's looking rather sort of bare too at the moment.
should get repoed.
Yeah.
Right.
Well protected for launch.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
the pendants were being put on the boom sections during the flyover out at the Highway 4 lot. So I think we'll start seeing boom sections coming back in after launch.
Oh, okay. Didn't notice that. Hang on.
Did they take the block as well, the hook, and left it with the old one?
I haven't tracked down where the other stuff is. No, but I think the block from the Buckner one went away. But that telehandler has all the pendants are next to that telehandler, and they're putting them back on the sections.
About time.
Okay. Cool. And will that just be in the configuration it was? Is that tall enough to reach the SQD for that, BJ?
I think when they put the additional 18 meters that hasn't been part of the quote-unquote standard SL8F2 configuration, I think it might be just tall enough, particularly if they use short enough rigging between the crane hook and the SQD arm.
Okie dokie. What have we left out at the launch site? There's not much going on in the pump farms, was there, this week? We can still see the boosted stand and the ship stand, which never be used again in that configuration at least. And this dance floor should never be used ever again.
I mean, I think it'll be used to pull to
Oh,
get
yeah.
access to pull stuff apart on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
thing. But other than that, once they start pulling that amount apart, which I cannot wait to watch them pull that thing apart, that'll get scrapped away as well.
They just need to go to the shipyard and get the crew who's
Shipbreaking
doing
team.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Oh, they-
they're like, this is the steel thickness you have. This is nothing.
We
They did
need to
bring-
bring smaller torches.
Yeah.
They did bring these tankers down this end. Alex, that one may be hooked up.
Yeah, what we haven't seen is the high pressure pumps like they have at Massey's. If they're transferring into helium underneath to the storage, or if they're going to just continue to trailer it in.
I wonder if they're going to decommission these tanks very soon then, if they're already using them, the new tanks. That'd be nice. Okay, so having a launch right nearby, what's our time? We're at, hang on.
T-minus 32 minutes. SpaceX is live. So.
All right, we might wrap up. We've done our 2 hours, all bar 10 minutes. Was there any final questions or anything going on in chat? Indy, you want to reflect on?
No, we're good on the chat. Everybody's excited for the launch.
All right, so we got 300 there and only a few here. Looks like everyone's disappearing on us slowly, which we expected. We expected a mass exodus about this time, so I appreciate those who hang around for as long as you did, and I really appreciate Ryan for sticking with us today, and we'll see you around the traps through the launch.
See you guys around through the launch.
And BJ, as always, thank you heaps for your input. Any last words or anything you want to say?
Go Flight 11. Let's finish out on a good note. And thanks, everyone, for joining us for this little last-minute review of yesterday's stuff on a weekday and a launch day.
Thank you very much. And as always, thank you, Alex, for being a regular and being full of knowledge for me as well. And everyone else, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And next time, BJ, Ryan, and I should have less of a time penalty. Barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. And
Only the three of you?
And Indy,
4
awesome
hours,
to have
I
you.
mean.
Yeah, that's definitely going to happen. And Indy, it's awesome to have you back on the stream. We haven't had you on a live stream for so long, it feels. So really, really awesome to have you back on a live stream. So thank you for your time today. And I'll get you to run over that donation one more time.
You want a recap of all the donations so far?
No, just explain it.
Oh, the donations. We're raising money to get Mauricio a brand new laptop and Starlink so that he can send us images from up high in the sky as he's actually taking them, as well as processing them a lot quicker so we can get the images even faster. Because at the end of the day, it's all about us.
All right, so and I'll wrap up the show. It seems I don't have Joe, so how's it go? I'm Stephanie B, Aussie Space Girl on YouTube. So most engines cut out, separation confirmed. Love you, bye.
Bye, thanks.